So I would like to present now Sonia Jagtap. She'll be talking about SICS in complicated cataract, followed by surgical outcome of iris claw lens in complicated cataract surgery.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I would like to thank AIOC for giving this wonderful opportunity. My today's both the topics are very simple, yet they are very important regarding the surgical outcome. My first topic is manual small incision cataract surgery in complicated cataract situations. So in the era of femtosecond cataract surgeries, why should we learn and master small incision cataract extraction surgeries? Because there are many good reasons. First of all is it provides affordable cataract surgical care. It is a plan B in difficult cataract situations like hard cataracts and low corneal endothelial cell counts, as well as whenever there is a subluxation more than 180 degrees. It has a wider applicability, it is more safe, and it has a shorter learning curve. It gives reliable and comparable results to phacoemulsification. It does not require any expensive instrumentation and can be performed in high volume ICAMs with good surgical outcome. So before taking an incision, we should take into account detailed history, especially in cases of presenile cataracts where patients might have history of trauma, or there can be systemic illnesses like diabetes. Best corrected visual acuity as well as pinhole vision is important to know the possible visual outcome. Surgical slit lamp examinations, including both the anterior and the posterior segments, are important to examine, as well as the lids and adnexa. Intraocular pressure should be checked. It is very important to counsel the patient and customize surgical planning. Now I'll be discussing different cataract situations and the challenges that we come across and how to overcome those challenges. First is the deep socket eyeball. Here the challenge is the surgical manipulations because we have limited access. Key step here is the eyeball elevation with peribulbar block. The important step is superior rectus bridle suture. If we do not take it properly, there is high chance of premature entry and delivering of the nucleus becomes very difficult. And temporal incision, especially in cases of left eyes where the nasal bridge come across while taking the side port. The next scenario is a traumatic cataract. Challenge here is the capsular bag instability. The posterior capsular status is unknown in these cases. Anterior capsular wrinkling can be there in very old traumatic cases like this picture. Here the key steps is the rhexis with Utrata forces because it gives a very controlled rhexis. Minimal hydrodissection and nucleus manipulations might save our back. CTR iris claw standby should be there and VR backup should be there. Now the third case scenario is a brown cataract and a black cataract, that is cataracta nigra. Here the challenges are the large rhexis. While doing the rhexis, there is a chance of running out of the rhexis and a nucleus delivery. So the key steps here are the large scleral incision, large CCC using dye. We should keep dye for a longer time. Soft cell technique to protect the corneal endothelium during nucleus delivery, and we should take sutures to reduce the astigmatism. In cases of hypermature or intumescent cataracts, the challenge is the CCC extension and there could be a chance of phacodonosis. So we should do a slit lamp examination beforehand to see whether there is actual phacodonosis or not. Key steps here is the envelope CCC. We should debulk the nucleus. We should remove the liquefied cortex with using 26 gauge cannula, or we can also use Simcoe cannula. And we should have standby CTR and iris claw lenses in these patients. Lens-induced glaucoma, the challenge is raised intraocular pressure, corneal edema, there is poor visibility, and there could be inflammation and phacodonosis due to poor capsular support. Here the key steps, we should counsel the patient for the guarded visual prognosis. Preoperative intraocular pressure reduction is very important, as well as the inflammation control by preoperative steroids. For phacomorphic glaucoma, blind CCC and nucleus debulking, as well as we should avoid hydrodissection, and phacolytic glaucoma, the control CCC should be done with the Utrata forceps because there is no cortical support. In cases of PXF cataract, the challenge here is the poor pupillary dilatation and zonular weakness. There can also be the raised intraocular pressure. Key steps here are the careful CCC, because we have to do blind CCC, gentle and generous hydrodissection to be done. Cortex aspiration is also blind. CTR and iris claw are very important. We should keep them standby, and vitrectomy cutter should be there. So in cases of non-dilating pupil, it can be managed in the similar manner as that of PXF cataracts. Posterior polar cataracts, here there is a chance of posterior capsular rupture during hydrodissection. So we should counsel patient regarding the secondary IOL. We should do small CCC because these cataracts in the central, and these cataracts normally are soft. Hydrodelineation, that is the golden ring sign, should be done instead of hydrodissection. We should maintain intra-ACE pressure with the cohesive viscoelastic. In case of PC dehiscence, we should tamponade the PC with the cohesive viscoelastic, dry aspiration of cortex, and then implant the three-piece IOL in the sulcus or in the back. Complicated cataracts or uveitic cataracts, the challenge here is the festoon pupil and post-operative inflammation. Here we should see that the eye should be quiet at least for 3 months before surgery, and surgery should be done under steroid cover. Here peeling of the membrane is important, synecholysis should be done to do good CCC, and patient counseling for the long-term steroids. Cataracts with compromised cornea, here the challenge is poor visibility, and we have to perform blind CCC. PC tear can be there because visibility is very poor. So here we have to again counsel the patient for guarded visual prognosis. To improve the contrast, we should keep the dye for longer time. And in cases of cataracts with poor endothelial count, here the challenge is post-operative corneal edema. So we should actually counsel the patient for, they might need maybe corneal transplant surgery. The key step is patient counseling, then soft shell techniques should be used, and smooth nucleus delivery should be taken into account, and minimal manipulation should be done to reduce corneal edema after surgery. Now my take-home message is to customize and customized surgical planning. We should counsel patient beforehand. We should always check pre-op list, checklist, and we should prepare for the surprises, and we should be